Hello everyone, happy Sunday. I'm MJ, author, financial educator, and a lifelong reader. And this is Lessons from My Library. This is where I take lessons from books that I have read and apply them in real life. And yes, we are at a different location. Spring is in the air, and so with the weather getting warm, I like to be outside. So you might find Lessons from the Library. We might be at a park, at a bookstore, or even in my hammock. With 314 Day celebration here in St. Louis and also Women's Month, I am choosing an author that's a native in St. Louis. Most people think joy shows up after life gets easier, but Jennifer Lewis teaches something completely different. She learned how to walk in joy right in the middle of a storm. Walking in My Joy in These Streets by Jennifer Lewis. This book reminded me of something powerful. Jennifer Lewis is known for being bold, funny, loud, and full of life. But what people don't see behind that personality is the journey she walked through to get there. She talks openly about addiction. She talks about living with bipolar disorder. She talks about rejection, struggle, and rebuilding herself more than once. And yet, the title of her book isn't about surviving. It's about walking in joy. That's a decision. One of the things that really stood out to me in this book is that Jennifer Lewis refuses to shrink herself. She shows up as her full personality. Big energy, big laughter, big presence, and that's what I really appreciate about hearing her story, how she didn't shrink herself. Me personally, being in a verbal and financial abusive marriage, my first marriage, I would shrink myself for the sake of peace. And then I realized how I was losing myself. And then I had to think how losing myself would affect my kids. So I said, no, I will no longer be shrinking myself. I had to get my power back. That made me think about how many of us, especially women, were taught to do the opposite. Be quieter, be easier to deal with, don't take up too much space. But joy does not live in small spaces. Joy needs room. And Jennifer Lewis decided she was going to give herself that room. Another thing this book reminds me is that our story doesn't disqualify us. The very things Jennifer Lewis could have hidden, her struggles, her mistakes, her healing, became part of the reason people connect with her. Sometimes the parts of our story we want to hide the most are the parts that free someone else. And here's the lesson. Joy is not something that happens after life becomes perfect. Joy is something you decide to walk in while life is still unfolding, while you're still healing, while you're still building, while you're still figuring things out. So here's the question. Where in your life have you been postponing joy? Are you waiting for something to line up perfectly? Or could you start walking in your joy right now? This week's lesson from my library is walk in your joy despite what life might throw at you. I'll see you all next week.